The Vainakh people of the North Caucasus were Islamized comparatively late, during the early modern period, and Amjad Jaimoukha proposes to reconstruct some elements of the pre-Islamic religion and mythology, including traces of ancestor worship, funerary cults and tree worship. Comparative mythology. K. Sikra-Lidze proposed that the people of the Caucasus region shared a single, regional culture in ancient times. Careful study of the Nakian and Kardvalian mythologies reveals many similarities and supports this thesis. Jaimoukha adduces comparison with the Circassians, but also more generally with Iron Age mythology, Western Indo-European cultures, especially emphasizing parallels to Celtic polytheism, such as the worship of certain trees, reconstructed calendar festivals such as Halloween and Beltane, veneration of fire, and certain ghost-related superstitions. Pantheon. Jaimoukha on page 252 gives a list of reconstructed Vainakh deities. Dila Adela, the supreme god. Hela, god of darkness. Sela of Sela, god of stars, thunder and lightning. Sela is often told as an evil and cruel god. His skein held the night. He lives on the top of Mount Kazbek with his fire chariot. Sata is Sela Sata, either wife or daughter of Sela, according to different versions, a goddess of artisanship and especially female crafts, corresponding to Northwest Caucasian Satana. Her face is described as shining like the sun with beauty. She helps Parkamat steal Sela's fire for the Earth's inhabitants by guiding him on the peak of Mount Kazbek. Maitzel, god of agriculture and the harvest and protector of the wheat. Ishtar Dila, lord of life and death and ruler of the underworld, responsible for punishing the wicked. Molis Yadi, the war god who brought the Vainakh victory. Elter, god of the hunt and animals, and, before Maitzel took over his role, the harvest. He was blinded in one eye for disobedience by his father. Dila. Amgali, a minor deity. Tamish, lord of fate, usually tiny in size but becomes gigantic when angered. Tasholi, goddess of fertility, protector of the people in front of his father Dila. She lives in sacred Lake Galan Am. According to scholars, in earlier beliefs Tasholi was the dominant deity. People asked from her for a healthy offspring of a rich harvest and growth of cattle. Later Tasholi was mainly the object of worship of childless women. Dartsanana, goddess of blizzards and avalanches. She lives on the top of Mount Kazbek. Dartsanana inscribed on a snow cone a Kazbek magic circle, through which no mortal dares to cross. The ones who step this circle Dartsanana drops into the abyss, floods the ice mountain. Moknana, goddess of the winds. Silazar, protectress of virgins. Melayudi, god of plants and cereal beverages. Galyudi, patron of cattle breeders. Era, patron of eternal timeline. Moj, evil sister of the sun and moon. Moj ate all the relatives in the sky, and now constantly chases the sun and the moon. When she catches up with them and obscured, the eclipse occurs. Moj releases the sun and the moon only after it has been so requested by the innocent firstborn girl. Bolim Dila, not much is known about him, her. She may or may not have been equivalent to Dila Malk, Kagyudia Maitskali, Lord of the Rocks. Matir Dila, another little-known deity. Piiska, the Keeper of Time. Supernatural creatures and heroes. Parkamit, demigod Na, who stole fire from the cruel god Sela, equivalent of Greek Prometheus, and Georgian Amirani. He is also equivalent to the Circassian Paturaz. P-Kargilberi tribe, mythological dwarf race. P-Kargilberi translated as Hari riders. They were invulnerable to any kind of weapons their enemies the Knots had. Turple, a free-roaming horse who came to help Parkamit in his journey when he called him. Turple always roamed free, grazing among 7 mountains, and drinking sea water. Ujayyed of Cyclops, faithful servant of Sela. He chained Parkamat to the summit of Mount Kazbek. Ida, king of birds, a falcon who comes every morning to tear Parkamat's liver. Spirit of Galanim Lake, a mythologic bull protecting sacred Galanim Lake from pollution and from unfaithful acts. Melin, the fallen angel, now a mythical race of giants, separately from the mythology of other peoples of the Caucasus. In Vainakh mythology, Nats could be both good and evil. Almas, evil forest spirits. They can be both male and female almases. Almas, men covered with hair, a terrible kind, fierce and insidious. On the chest of them is a sharp axe. Female almases have an extraordinary beauty, but also evil, insidious and dangerous. Sometimes they seem terrifying creatures of enormous growth with huge breasts thrown over his shoulders behind his back. Favorite theirs occupation, dance, throwing his chest behind his back, raising his hands up. They dance in the moonlight. Almases live in the woods, on the highlands. They are patronized by wild animals and sometimes come with a hunter in a love affair. Luck on hunting, according to legends, depends on the benevolence of an almas. Damselg was a witch who could leave her body and enter into an animal. If in her absence to turn the body, then, on his return from travels, it will not be able to return to his body and dies. Jinnim. In perceptions of Chechens and Ingush, good and evil spirits are between angels and devils. Good and evil jinnim together are in the same hostility as angels with devils. Through deceit or eavesdropping, they steal the innermost secrets of the future of man and tell the friends of the earth. Falling star, a star angels cast during eavesdropping. Contact with a jinnim leads to insanity. Tram, invisible guardian spirits that protect his master from all sorts of disasters. On representations of the Naks, every person, every household, all natural objects had a taram. Ubbers, the evil, bloodthirsty spirits, entered into any animal. Close to the vampire in Slavic mythology. Hunsag, the patron spirit of the forest and forest animals. Hunsag seek to destroy every hunter who met with him in the woods. From his breast sticks out the bone axe. The forest animals, birds, trees, grass rise to defend Hunsag.